The monster. Oh yes, Edgar Allan Poe as a bedtime story. What? No. Hard pass. Absolutely not. I thought the voiceover was really interesting. You start with Edgar Allan Poe and then you go to Darwinism, but like a super dark version of it. Like there's weak and strong, and you can pick one or the other. And I was like, wow, your kid is like less than 10 years old. Like, interesting take on trying to ensure your child's future.
The director or who was doing filming and the telling the story, showing the keys. I think if you all caught that, we were all leaning that the keys were visualized several times that they were going to somehow become a part of the story, that we were definitely needed to notice those. The only thing I guess I'm left with asking is that when he said either become the monster or is the mother the monster or was the father the monster, it's confusing to leave. Who's the monster? Is she the monster or is the father the monster, or are they just both monsters? I think I'm confused by that part where he's like either become the monster or.
I think that's up to audience interpretation. What did you take away from it? I think from what I've heard from a couple other people here, they took that the father was the monster and that he was inflicting this, but it's certainly open to interpretation.
I think the mother was just used as a tool to get the boy to either choose to be prey or choose to be that monster. I think, the mother was just a tool to get his son to decide, because the mother was against what the father was doing, so obviously she knew, so he used her as a sort of catalyst for the boy.
Hi, I also liked this film the best of all of them so far, and I felt like there was a really subtle way that they made the dad very dramatically sinister, and yet they didn't like overdo it where it was comical, and yet they also had the kid have his fear be comical, but then it translated into actual just like sinister, like, oh my gosh, this kid's gonna possibly get killed, we don't know what's gonna happen to the kid, but at the beginning it was like we're having a laugh, but it evolved into more
serious
afterwards.
undertones.
Yeah.
I also like that they made him a dad, that they like showed that he cared for his son. They humanized him to that
For
extent.
me, the creep factor in this film was really good.
Yeah.
I definitely saw some people kind of jump at some of the scenes, so that was like, it really shows that the movie really did affect people. But yeah, for me, I love horror, so that creep factor is really important to me, and they did it really well. Especially the father, just kind of teasing the boy, and like trying to get more of a thrill, and for him to not be afraid of things, and the boy trying to not be afraid was really, really well done.
I took it kind of on a modern kind of a commentary where kind of father and son relationship, where kind of a male toxicity thing, where men, boys are told you can't show fear, you can't acknowledge your fears, you have to cover it up and you have to deal with it and not acknowledge it or show any kind of weakness. So that's the way I kind of looked at it, is more of a way society puts pressure on young boys to become unfeeling men.
As a girl, I never would have gotten there. I got other society things, but that's really interesting. I thank you for pointing that out.
Actually, I voted this movie the best film for tonight. Like, I think that was such a crazy twist for the father to be mentally teaching his son how to become a monster or to pray. And for his decision in the end, I thought that was just very interesting. I would love to see more of the movie and see how that portrays out and exactly what he would do. But for his mother to be the one locked up downstairs and for him to have to go down there and visually look at her in order to know which one he wants to be, like that's just what life is about when it comes down to influencing in what you want to be. So like I'm looking forward to see more of the movie.
But I'm hoping there'll be a part 2, part 3.
Go ahead. We want to hear what you
It
said.
makes me think of that. Like,
you want it to keep going.
Will it keep going? Will his kid like find a way to stop his dad? and overcome it. That with the body bags
Mhm.
and the picture, it kind of like make me think, is there a prequel towards it instead of like a sequel?
Yeah, yeah.
So, cause the body bags, like how many kills did he get? How many, like when did he chain up his wife? And
All good
like
questions.
that's something that should be known.
Yeah. Sounds like everybody kind of wants more.
I thought it was interesting how, like at one point I was thinking, wait, is that lady his mom from the picture? And then saw her chained up. I'm like, yeah, that's it. And his dad's a serial killer. No wonder he was reading Telltale Heart. But I liked sort of the take that it was like, to stop being afraid of monsters, you have to become one. And you just sort of watched him corrupt his kid. But also, it's just sort of reminds me of how, like, there aren't monsters, they're just people who do monstrous things. So it's like, yeah, the monster he's afraid of was just a person, and yeah, now he's a monster too.